Well, hi there viewer, welcome back to the channel. Going to do something a bit different today, but don't worry, there'll be more Greg's content along soon. Anyway, I got my eBay update recently and it tells me this is my 25th year on the platform and I've 1777 feedback, all of it positive. So what do I do in eBay? Well, mostly DVDs, and I know most folk will say that's dead, come on, what are you doing that for? Can't make much money doing that, but you're wrong, you can make money. Very little money. I do it more for the fun than anything else. Normally just go to the charity shop and find the odd bit and pieces and get what I like. And maybe if I see a couple of rarities, I'll stick them on eBay and make a couple of quid. So this year I've made £192 of sales, but of that only £102 is actual payment to me. So the rest of it goes to eBay and post costs. Costs you £1.55 or £1.80 to post a DVD, depending on how heavy it is. Over around 100 grams is your benchmark. So even after that, £102, you still have to take into account costs of goods and post and packaging. So I spend about 10p per item in post and packaging, just bubble wrap and emails I get off Amazon. And the cost of product is generally quite cheap. A lot of DVD shops near me, or charity shops as I call them, and they'll do you five for £1, 10 for £1, sometimes £1 each for the really fancy stuff. So there's not a lot of money in it, but I quite enjoy the process, and it's good to unite people with films they might have forgotten about and get them to get their DVD players out the attic. So anyway, on this occasion, for first time in a long time, I looked through Facebook Marketplace and I saw this listing here. And the lady had actually put it down as 80 CDs, but the pictures of DVDs. So I messaged her and she said she'd made a mistake. It was actually CDs she had. She'd sold the DVDs. But then she came back, as always happens in Facebook Marketplace, saying the guy had mucked her around and I could have them if I wanted. So it was 80 DVDs for 15 quid. And you can see from the box picture, there's one or two goodies on top. I can see a Father Ted box set. I can see Superman 1 and 2. So I knew it wasn't just running the mill rubbish, or maybe they're all hidden underneath, who knows. But it's worth a gamble at 15 quid. So I met her in a supermarket car park, handed over the cash and brought home the box. But what is in there? Well, my benchmark is generally it has to be worth £2.99 or more to be worth putting in eBay. Otherwise, you're making less than £1, which is really pathetic. I'd make more money with a hat in front of me outside the shops. But there were some good ones in here, plenty of rubbish as well. So what I did was get into video me unpacking the box, so you can watch it as I did as I go along, and I'll flag up the ones that are worth any money. And at the end of the video, I'll give you a wee summary about what we expect to make, what's sold already, and the fun in unpacking somebody else's box of DVDs. Okay, see you shortly. Right, here we go. You're looking at these DVDs as I was looking at the time, sight unseen, apart from a couple of ones on top. Lady like Gerard Butler and Paul Walker quite a lot, and Hugh Jackman, so there's quite a lot of their films there. So I'll just pass through the ones that are worthless or worth less than £3. It's most of these big Hollywood films that sold millions of DVDs, so they're not rare at all. But I'll stick up screen grabs of sold items that are worth more than a magical £2.99, which is the tipping point between worth putting eBay or not. So there's a lot of X-Men. I think there's 4 X-Men films. I don't think these are popular. They are widely seen, but not much fun. Here's Father Ted. I like that, obviously. I think I'll keep that for my personal collection because I have only this single series in DVDs, so that was a good find. Here's Superman 1 and 2. 2 was sealed, so that's pretty good. It's actually worth more sealed than the whole thing is 2 of them, so I'll put them on separately. And The Wizard of Oz, this is a 3-disc one, so this is the only one that's worth any money. The 2-disc one won't see a profit. So I enjoy doing this, picking through them. Quite a lot of generic stuff here, nothing that's setting hell on fire, but there was a few oddities, few religious ones, a lot of Christmas ones, things like that, and a couple other things you'll see as we go along, which confounded me somewhat, but I'm sure we'll find a home for them, even if it's back in the charity shop once more. So you can see like Ocean's 12, Troy, a lot of Brad Pitt, that kind of thing. Here he is again, meet Joe Black. So nothing that's going to make you any money. Gerard Butler and Rock and Roller here. Another one to bypass. Here's Into the Blue. This is a Region 1, which is an American disc. So they're actually worth a couple of quid more than the British edition. So that's one to pick out. And then you've got more Paul Walker right below, something about dogs. Not interested in that. And films that you've never even heard of. So there was also a couple of things, likes of The Fountain, which is a nice slipcase edition. That's worth a couple of quid more than average. So we'll keep hold of that one. Running Scared, never heard of, Paul Walker film, and there was a lot of those, like I said. The Farm, that was sold right away. That was quite a good one. That was sealed. So sealed packaging is always the best, because you can list it with 2 photos and get top money for it. As soon as the seal comes off, it's worth half as much. And I've no idea why people buy DVDs and then never open them, but might be presents that weren't required, who knows. So we've got both Tomb Raiders anyway, both straight back to the charity shop, despite Angelina Jolie's best efforts. And I've never seen the other ones. Sealed Pretty Women, worth having, at least worth selling. That's a funny one. It's Maths from 2004. I think I kept the box for this, but the rest of it's going in the bin because I think they've moved away from advocacy since then. Another Paul Walker there, never heard of that one either. Worthless. Apocalypto, good sleeve one, but again, that's not worth anything to sell. Shooters is one that we can pass on. I think it's like an Alan Partridge, Bad Slags kind of film, so one to enjoy. Bendel at Beckham, good film, but sold a million copies, so worthless. Conspiracy Theory, Mel Gibson, nominal value. Mrs. Brown, Jamaica, Billy Connolly acting it up there, don't want that. And there's the Specialist, quite a good performance by Sharon Stone there, not so much by Sly, unfortunately. So let's see what's up now. Timeline, it's a Michael Crichton book based on. Not seen it, don't fancy it, not worth anything. There was 3 different versions of Scrooge. There's only one worth any money, and it's Alistair Sim one, so and even then it's only a couple of quid. Trumpton's obviously a good one. Kids' DVDs like Bagpuss always sell quite quickly. Stick them on, forget the kids. Just Another Saturday, that's a Billy Connolly one, BBC Play for Today. This one's it's a weird one. It's a Paul Walker one based on Genghis Khan, but it's a sort of Chinese knockoff. So I'm just sticking that in the bin because it's not worth the hassle off eBay saying it's a fraudulent one. So there was a couple of those in there. So somebody must have been on holiday in Bangkok. It's not Hugh Jackman, Paperback Hero. Never heard of that, but it is worth a couple of quid. So worth putting up on eBay. Leon, excellent film again, but too many of them out there. And there's another Region 1. This is Scoop. It's a Woody Allen film, which can only get in America, apparently. So, again, that's worth selling. But you have to be quite careful with your listings so that people don't send it back because they can't play it. Field of Dreams sealed copy. That'll sell quickly. That's 4 or 5 quid or so. Not brilliant, but not bad. Shawshank Redemption, everybody loves it, but everybody's already got it. You see that in every charity shop in the land. And His Escape to Victory, which is a classic, Michael Caine, whom I like. This one said it's got a Free England flag in it, but unfortunately it wasn't contained, so somebody's had it out their window during the last World Cup, maybe. This one's a strange one. It's Rocky 1 to 5, all in one disc, and you don't get much more homemade than that. So, not one that I'm going to risk my eBay reputation with. And there's a Notebook. That's a good one. It's very often found sealed. I've sold 3 of them in the last couple of months, but who knows? In the Name of the Father, this was actually the best one here. It's a film I've not seen, Daniel Day-Lewis, but that's in Blu-ray, and that's worth about 13 quid on its own, so virtually what I paid for the whole box. More Hugh Jackman, Kate and Leopold. If anybody wants these Hugh Jackmans, let me know. I'm sure I can do you a job lot. Trading Places, we'll come back to that later because that's quite an interesting one. And there's Downfall, which I sold right away and I had a funny response on it, so I'll show you that once we're done here as well. Jerry Maguire, good film, 2 disc set, really nice. It's only worth £1.99 at most, and that's with the posting. So charity shop time. Same with this X-Men. There's 1, 1.5, 2, loads of them. There's a Shrek 2. We've got Shrek 1, 2, and 3 in here, and they're all worth less than the 3-pack set that you can get, for like 2 or 3 quid. So again, that's not going to be worth sending anywhere. Pay It Forward, again, not worth anything. There's a Finny's version of Scrooge, and that's not worth anything. Again, it's Alistair Sim one that you want. And there's poor old Forrest Gump, he's not worth anything either, you know, it's Life in Box Chocolates, never mind. Dear Frankie and our Gerard Butler, that's borderline worth it, but I probably won't bother with it. And that's a sort of religious one, Tale of Bernadette, which is worth sticking on. There's another sort of ropey one. This is the Passion of the Christ. This person's going to hell because they've pirated a DVD, and as we know, Thou Shalt Not Steal from Warner Brothers, or whoever made it. Mickey's Christmas, that's sort of kind of worthless, maybe worth sticking in a bundle near Christmas time. It's one of the better ones. This is the Passion of the Christ. It's a 2-disc set, and it's a steel book, and it's like 400 minutes long, so I think your Christians out there will enjoy that one. It's about a tenner or so, so again, that's worth putting on. Middlecliff 34th Street, it's the early version, not the Richard Attenborough one, but it's not worth listing. And Chariots of Fire, again, is classic, but too well known. That's Murdered by Decree. It's a Sherlock Holmes film. It's one of the better ones. Christopher Plummer. That's Region 1 again, but that's sold already, so that was a good deal. And this is an oddity. This is The Great Escape, but it's a PC CD-ROM game, 2 discs with the manual, so that's worth selling. It's worth about a £5, so not too great. There's another Shrek. As I say, we had the 3 of those, but nobody wants you. It's one called The Corporation. I thought that might be a rarity because I hadn't heard of it, but it seems quite common and not worth listing. Seemed quite interesting, that one though. And there's the last of your Shreks to complete the set, unless you want Shrek Forever After, which isn't here. It's a Tudors. I thought this was a good find because it's nice box, sealed, full set, but it's not worth anything. And we've got this Beowulf and Grendel, which looks like a sort of generic sort of fairy tale thing, but nothing, no value. Dirty Dancing, if you want it, you've already got it. Same things like Greasing, you never get any money for those because you'll always find them in the charity shops. And the Magnificent Seven, which is obviously a classic, but common as the muck. So we're finishing up here, Big Fat Greek Weddings, another one that's not worth anything. And finally, we've got Oliver sealed, so that'll be one to stick on eBay because it's worth maybe £4 or £5 or so. And what's at the bottom of the box here, Sandstorm. I don't think that was worth anything, but I'll stick up a price if it is. But right, well, here we are a few days later, and I've listed all of the DVDs. There were actually 82 in the box, despite there only being 80 as advertised, so that was a wee small win. But within that, 3 of them were bootlegs: Attila, Passion of the Christ, and the Rocky 5 film disc. They were obviously pirates, so they just get binned rather than any hassle with eBay. And also binned the Maths DVD. I don't think anybody wants 2004 mathematics anymore. There's actually a bonus one from the ones I showed you on the video. The Bishop's Wife. It was a single DVD in a sleeve, and I found this when I broke up the box. This is a homemade sort of one, but it is public domain, the film, and it's quite professionally done. So there's similar on eBay for a couple of quid, so I stuck this up anyway. It would only cost 85p to post. So overall, there was 27 worth selling, one of which was Trading Places, which is worth about 3 or 4 quid. Unfortunately, when I went to list it and check the disc, this happened.
You dirty fecker.
So a small win, perhaps. No, I think that'll go in the bin as well. I did have a quick look at it for research purposes, and it was pretty 90s slow motion and smoke and saxophone playing, so not too titillating. Anyway, so if you want the dinner party, do let me know. Keep it in a back box, and you could have that as a prize if you first to comment. Anyway, so I had looked through the remaining ones. I went through Music Magpie, which is just a default place for selling your old DVDs, and they were often literally pennies. The majority of them weren't worth anything at all to them, and the best offer I got was 14p for one, so and you need a minimum of a £5 to send them a box, so it really wasn't worth doing it. The only reason to do this is it gives you an indication of what ones are worth something, so it was through this that I found that the Specialist was actually worth it, because they're offering me 10 or 12p for it, and I could actually get 3 quid on eBay, so it's about 5% of the value they give you. And for reference, In the Name of the Father, they're only offering 174, which is maybe 10% of the value, so I would avoid it unless you're just looking to clear your house, but again, they don't want the majority anyway. Anyway, so the rest are going to the charity shop. I did upgrade some of my boxes, which is a fair tip, because some of the ones I'm selling had scratched or scuffed boxes, so it's easy to flip them out for when you're giving it to the charity shop anyway. So I did that with a couple, so they're all nice and smart now. I've listed them all now. I did about 5 a day. The advice you generally get is that if you put them on, regularly, eBay rewards you with more sales rather than doing them all at once. So I've been doing 5 a day for a week or so, and I had a few sales already. The easiest ones to list are the sealed ones. So I had them, and I sold Downfall right away. So I got 550 for that, which was quite good. Although I did get a return request, and I thought, oh dear, it must have been damaged or something. But this is the reason that was given. So obviously that was an easy no. I had returns turned off, so unless it's defective, I've got no reason to return it, and not liking it's not a reason that's applicable for a refund. I don't know what this person was thinking about. They've got 20,000 feedback, so they obviously know the system, but maybe just trying for their luck. Anyway, overall, was this worth doing? I've got the sums here in a spreadsheet, and the total listings I've got about £131, but you'll probably half that with your eBay fees and your post costs and your packaging costs. So I'll make maybe 60 quid on the deal overall, which is not bad. It's not going to take any more than say 3 hours, so 20 quid an hour, and it's worth doing, and enjoy the process. And I got a couple of DVDs for my own. Something I did do when we picked this up in Barhead was we went into the Barnado's charity shop, and I found these two, Stalker and the Warriors. So these are worth £13 and £6 each. So we're talking about a 15, 16 quid profit on those two alone. So I think you are better just like sourcing individually rather than picking out sack loads of them and then sifting through for the good stuff. But I enjoy the fun aspect of it, and get to make a video too. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this sort of content, do let me know, and I'll do some more. Don't mind buying random boxes of cheap DVDs for fun and content. But if you want any of these DVDs, let me know. I've put my eBay store details in the comments below, and I'm sure we can do a deal if you mention a video when approaching me. Okay, have a good day then. Take care. Bye bye.